go, ladies. Let's talk about why everybody says you need to talk nicer to yourself. Like, what's the actual science behind that? Because I'm kind of tired of hearing it, and I'm the type of person that if I don't understand why I'm doing something, I don't really want to do it, right? This is a really cool way to look at why it's not just nice to talk nice to yourself. It's not just, the good thing to do to be more kind to yourself. You actually must be more kind to yourself or there are consequences. And I'm going to go over like the science behind it, which is really, really cool. So there was a study done where they wanted to measure kind of like the vibration and the frequency and the type of energy you give off. Like when you as a person, how do you vibrate at the highest frequency or how do you give off the most amount of energy? Like what state does it take to get you there? Or what are the environment or the circumstances to get you at that highest version of yourself? Okay. So they did this study and they did, those weird scientific things where they were able to measure energy and all that stuff. And they were in a room with somebody and they were trying to evoke different type of emotions. So they were having conversations, they were sharing stories that kind of expressed all type of emotions, sadness, despair, happiness, sadness, like all the range of emotions. And what they thought would happen is that when we experience love and joy the most, they thought that's when we would vibrate the highest in an emotion. And the study came back, yes. When we were experiencing love and joy, either, sharing it or feeling it or hearing it, we did give off the most amount of energy, okay? However, they also recorded another energy burst of these people that was actually 40 times higher than the love and joy burst of energy. Now, who can guess what that might be? And here's a hint. You probably won't guess it. So I'm going to share it. So what they found was there wasn't a specific story or a specific emotion that was tied to this 40 times increase in energy burst. What they tied it down to was authenticity. When there were stories of authenticity or authentic conversations happening, regardless of the emotions that were involved in that time, there was a 40 times X release of this energy and vibrating at a higher frequency. It was pretty crazy and pretty wild. And so, what does this say? Well, authenticity is not really an emotion, is it? Like, how do you feel authentic, right? It's not really an emotion. So this tells us that your soul also has no emotion. Your soul is not an emotion, and authenticity is not an emotion. And so, how does your soul express itself? And how do you connect more with your pure soul? Because what we're going after on this weight loss journey, a lot of the time when I speak to ladies, they say, I'm going after this feeling, right? Like, even if you don't hit your goal weight, but you got that feeling, you'd still be happy. We're going after this feeling because we think there's this contentment or satisfaction of getting X feeling. But what this study kind of revealed was there is no feeling that will make you feel as good as what being authentic helps us vibrate as. And so what you are going after is not a feeling on this weight loss journey. Okay? Although that will be nice. What we are ultimately going for on this weight loss journey, on this transformation, is not an emotion. It is to align ourselves with our authentic self, our authentic, filterless soul that's always been there. So there's no emotional state that we're trying to achieve. Pride, happiness, joy, right? We did it finally. Like there's no emotional state we're trying to feel of what it feels like when we're in our dream body. It's not a state of emotion. Okay? It is meeting the purest version of you that we are going after, which makes sense, right? Because that's what we thought that feeling would be. That's what we think being skinnier, being leaner, getting rid of our belly. That's what we think that version of us is, right? We think the feeling we get when we become that version of ourselves is worth going on this journey for. That's why you started this in the first place. That's why you're trying to lose weight in the first place. We're chasing that journey, we're chasing that feeling because that person is going to give us that feeling. But what if I told you there is no emotional state that we're going after? What if you already are that person and it is your soul that we are trying to connect with to feel that in the present moment so that you can just go on this journey and enjoy without expectations, without this is right or wrong, without it should be faster or slower. What if going on this journey was as exciting as going on a treasure hunt? What if it was as exciting as when you were first courting your husband or your lover? What if it was as exciting as that? And it can be, but we're missing a piece of enjoyment if we're chasing a feeling, because we're still chasing a feeling, and feelings are fleeting. So can you ever actually stay in an emotional state forever? No, right? The reason that we feel happy is because we have moments of sadness to compare it to. And if all of that goes away, then the feeling goes away. So it's not an emotional state that we're going after. So what I implore you to do is going forward, when we think of our goal and we think of our whys, why is becoming the best version of me, the healthiest version of me, the leanest version of me? Why is this so important? Okay, I thought it was because I would have this amazing feeling, this contentment, this amazing life. I'd go on more adventures. You are right. You are right. Those things will happen. But that's not the end goal. These are things that happen along the journey of aligning yourself with your soul and being authentic. Okay? So the way you lose weight is not by feeling your way there. You get closer to your goal by getting closer to your true self, your true soul, which is kind of crazy. And maybe that's frou-frou and out there and woo-woo. But I think we can agree that when we're born, we're free of bias. We're free of other people's opinions. We're free of other people's judgment. We're free of our own self-criticism. And so at one point, you were pure and untouched, and you were your own being, not formed and sculpted by anybody else. And so if you were once that, you can become that again. Don't you think weight loss would be way easier if you didn't have expectations, if you didn't have people sabotaging you, yourself sabotaging you? Wouldn't it be easier? Wouldn't life be easier if there was no judgment? If you loved every inch of you? Every inch of you, I'm not talking physically. We all have secrets, we all have shame. But that's the parts to love about you. How can you love yourself in the light if you don't love yourself in the dark? And so it starts with connecting with your soul again. Your soul has no emotion, it just is. Stop judging who you are and what you do and how you think and how you act and how other people act and what other people do. It just is. So knowing that's a fact is the first part of doing this. Knowing that it is not we are chasing an emotion, we're chasing our true authentic selves again. We are trying to meet ourselves again. We're trying to unlearn a bunch of stuff, right? Trying to unlearn a bunch of stuff. If we unlearned the wrong way to lose weight, all that would be left is the right way. And you would have one clear path. And again, it would make this journey easy, right? So we're trying to unlearn all this stuff and get closer to that soul of you. So that first thing to do is realize that that is what we're doing. Okay. The second thing to do is realize that it comes down to not judging yourself as you go through this journey. But like seriously not judging yourself. It's not like be nice when I look in the mirror. It's realizing how many expectations you have of how your day should go, of how your marriage should go, of how your weight loss should go, your relationship with your kids, your career, your work day. If you release expectations, you stop judging that it didn't align. Can we guarantee anything? No, except maybe death. And I can guarantee that we can't guarantee anything. Maybe that's a guarantee. So like our negative reactions to things are solely coming from us and our expectations of what we thought should happen. You are shoulding all over yourself. Shoulda, coulda, woulda is where happiness goes to die and authenticity hides. What are you comparing things to? And why do you automatically expect that version to be better? Right? If you had a rough day today, if you had a stress today, and you're upset about it or it's getting to you. Why? Who said that shouldn't have happened? And who said that that's bad? Maybe it just is. And loving what is, loving your body for where it is. That is true freedom. And that is towards a step towards authenticity. Authenticity is knowing, again, the fact that that's what we're going for, but also not judging everything else that you think doesn't align with that. Because you're going to go on this journey and you're going to have ups and downs of emotion and you're going to feel bad about feeling bad. What a waste of time. What a freaking waste of time. Holy. If you cannot accept yourself where you are, you cannot accept yourself when you get there. Like, if you listen to anything on this call, I hope that resonates with you. If you are chasing something by going on a weight loss journey, I guarantee you will not find it. You will not catch it until you learn to embrace yourself for who you are and stop judging. And I know that sounds easy to do, or maybe that doesn't sound easy to you, but I want you to take it to a whole new level. Like deeply. It's like we play a role. We play wife. We play mom. We play coworker. We play friend. We are playing these people. Who are you really if none of that was there? If you weren't a mom and had people to take care of, if you weren't a wife and had to love your husband, if you didn't have to work, who are you? You are enough. It is not the things that you do or the roles that you play that make you worthy. Your soul is worthy just by existing. But have you met your soul? Has your soul been hidden? Is there masks over it? Who are you? Because if you don't know who you are, or if you're not trying to meet your soul, how can you lose weight if you don't know who you are? It's somebody else losing the weight, which, by the way, is why we gain it back, because you didn't really lose it. One of your roles lost it. Whoa, think about that for a second. That's crazy. Crazy. So, how can you start to shine through more? You release the roles, release the expectations. What does you sharing your authentic voice look like? And it can be small, and I have no idea how to guide you on this because this is your own journey with your own soul. But I know that you've been programmed and wired and are wearing masks or different hats. And I know that a lot of the ideas and expectations floating around in your head are not yours. They were put there. Parents, teachers, bosses, social media, the news. Your brain is full of stuff that's not yours. So starting there is a good place. And I love this quote. I'll end this call with a quote. She remembered who she was, and then the game changed. You know who you are. You were her. You just forgot. Everybody else put noise in your head. Write things out. Question things more. And let go of judgment. And I promise you, weight loss just happens as a side effect. It doesn't need to be an obsession. It's not this huge journey that we're always on. No, it's a side effect of going on the journey of meeting your soul, connecting with it again. So be authentic. And first step to doing that is define what you think that means and how you've not been aligning with that definition.